Hello, my name is Jeremy Russa, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to the Employee Portal website final project video presentation that the student developed. This is for the CST 310 software development course at the University of Arizona Global Campus with a submission date of November 23rd, 2021. First thing that I want to discuss is the XAMPP application that was utilized throughout this course and that was required for the assignments. XAMPP provides the user with, once it's installed, provides the user with all these different files. Most often than not, more often than not, people usually install XAMPP directly into their C drive, but the student chose to install it into this class's archive folder. Within XAMPP, we have this XAMPP control button. If you double click that, this screen will be brought up. Here's where the user can control Apache, MySQL, and the other attachments that they might have wanted to install with XAMPP. Apache and MySQL are required for the user's browser to be able to interact with the Apache web server throughout building this website. Furthermore, throughout these files in XAMPP, we have this htdocs folder. In order for the code that one develops to be able to operate on the user's web browser, they have to put it in this htdocs folder. You can see here that WordPress was installed, and this extension allowed the student to design the website more readily. And once you navigate to the WordPress document or the WordPress folder, we have all these different PHP codes that were developed. Also within the content folder, we have plugins. These various plugins, Elementor, Forminator, Password Page Protect, and Profile Builder were utilized by the student to build the website. Ask-Emmet and Ultimate Member were not utilized, and they were just installed stock on the WordPress application. PHP code within these plugins and within the WordPress document here, like login and config and sign up, were different documents that had to be developed to allow for the different functionalities within the website. We're not going to have time to look at all of the code today, but if you wish to view these, they will be in the submission that the student puts in the zip file for this assignment. With the setup out of the way, and we have our XAMPP control panel up and running Apache and MySQL, let's go ahead and type localhost into the web browser. This will bring up the Apache server and allow us to go to phpMyAdmin to view the database that was developed by the student. You can see this employee portal portal database has all the tables that are required for the website. Furthermore, we created this user employee portal that has all the privileges needed to execute the functionalities. Because our developed code is located in the htdocs folder, one can simply type in localhost and then WordPress, which is the folder that's within htdocs, to bring up the website. So here's the landing page for the employee portal website that the student developed. In week 1, this basic landing page was required for the assignment, and these pages for your pages, login and logout, register, viewer edit profile, and contact us were just needed. The links just needed to be working for week 1. As we went into week 2, the login and logout, or the register functionality, needed to be developed. So let's click on this link now and see what happens. You can see that it brings up a login page. Now, if there's already an existing account, they can enter their information here in the username or email, and then the associated password for the website. Or if the student or if the user is not logged in or hasn't registered an account yet, they can go ahead and register. So let's demonstrate this functionality now. Let's type in test user 2, and then we'll just give it the password of password. And then when we go into the email section, it gets a little bit more complicated with user permissions and roles, which were developed in week 3, which I will come back to. We'll just type in test user 2 at employeeportal.com and register the account. Once the account is registered, it will automatically bring the user back to the landing page where they can log in as that user. So we'll type in test user 2 and then password for the password and hit enter, and it will automatically log in the user into the employee portal. From here, we can hit home, and it will take them back to the landing page. We will go ahead and log out of that test user now, and then go back to, it will automatically take us back to the login and register page when we log out. In week 3, the students were required to restrict content for certain users. So let's show that functionality now. Restricted user 1, we will add for the username, and then we will just make it password again. One can see that in the email section, this is where the content will get restricted depending upon which kind of email the student or the user enters for this. So we'll do restricted user 1 at, if they include the word admin. There's 5 different levels of users. There's admin, subscriber, contributor, author, and editor. If they add these include statements within their email address, it will enable them to select their user role or assign their user role within the system. So for this one, we're just going to do .admin.employeeportal.com and register their account. Now we can log in as restricted user 1 and then password. And when we log in, we're currently logged in as restricted user 1, and we can see that we're back at the landing page. Underneath of this subsection here is the back end of WordPress if one wishes to further edit the website. More in week 3 with the restricted content, which I'll demonstrate now. Certain users have different permissions based upon their role within the system. This administrative user can access all of these pages. These are not fully developed, it's just to show the restricted content is enabled within this website. These are what the pages would look like if the user had rights to the different web pages. If we go back home and we will log out of restricted user and log back in as a subscriber, which has limited roles within the system and limited rights, we can see that when we go back to the Your Pages section, the content is restricted, and unless the user has the password, which for the instructor it's password12, they would not be able to access this data within the website. Once they enter the password, they would be able to view the content, but without the password, they are restricted from being able to view that content. In week 4, the user is able to view and edit their profile. For this Jeremy account, there's no data entered within this edit profile page. To save their information, they must enter their password. And for here, we'll enter Jeremy Rusa address 123 address, and then the phone number 555. We'll just enter some data here, and then the salary, we'll just enter some more data to show this functionality. And then we'll hit the update button. Once we hit the update button, it will save their data. So anytime they go back to their edit or view profile page, all that data will be populated. And if they wish to change it, they can edit the data and then enter their password again to save it. Finally, in week 5, the student was required to create the log out functionality. As demonstrated throughout this presentation, we've logged out and logged into many accounts. And this logout button is straightforward. The user can log out and they will be presented with this. They can still navigate back to the landing page if they desire. Take a quick look at where these files and how these tables are stored within PHPMyAdmin. Under Employee Portal, we have this Employee Portal Users table, and we can see here we've added the restricted user account and the test user 2 account, and then you can see all the other ones that have been created. This admin account has administrative roles, and the password for this admin account is simply password. Under the user meta table, you can see where all of the data is stored, where we've entered it for addresses, and if we show all, we can see, if we scroll down to about halfway, we can see where Jeremy has entered their information and the address is saved along with the salary and social security number and phone number. If there are any questions about the Employee Portal website final project that were not addressed in this video, please feel free to contact me via my email or my phone number that's listed on the Folio website. Again, I'd like to thank you for watching this presentation, and I appreciate any feedback that you have. Thank you for your time.